Hello, so I'm gonna try and do another lino printing video today. I would call it another tutorial, but since I've kind of already done one, which I will kind of put up here or something, it's gonna pretty much be the exact same thing. I'm just gonna be doing it with a different pattern. And the thing I'm actually gonna be doing it with is these little fish. So it's actually part of my college project. I wanted to do these fish with different techniques and stuff, so I thought these would actually look really nice as a lino print. So these were the kind of original sketches of my fish, and then I went ahead and then retraced them onto this tracing paper. I kind of moved some of the angle of some of them, the ones that I didn't think looked quite right, but this is kind of like the final design that's going to go onto the lino. I don't know whether or not I'm going to keep them all on the lino as this and then like just print this whole design as one, or if I'm gonna cut them up so I have like just little bits of lino with each individual fish on. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see at the end what I decide to do. So what we're gonna do next is just to transfer. I had this little bit of lino left over from another project I did, so I thought they actually fit pretty perfectly on here. So we're gonna put, this is the side with the graphite on, so if we rotate it over and place it on top, making sure none of all that fish is a bit close to the edge. Right. I might use a bit of tape this time just to hold it in place so it doesn't move, because I do want it all to kind of stay in the same place. This is just normal artist masking tape. The only thing I usually recommend if you're using it on paper is to like just put it on like a t-shirt or something first, just to get so it's not super sticky, because it can usually ruin your paper. But for this, it'll be fine for this. So I'll just tape that edge down. And that edge. Okay. And then all we've got to do is retrace all of these lines so it transfers design onto this lino. So once again I'm using the exact same lino cutters from my last video. So we've got obviously the handle and a little pack of things. You can tell I took these to college because I had to name them in case someone stole my cutters. But I'm probably only going to be using like the two smallest ones, because these are kind of some like really intricate designs. So I'll put... Okay, I think I'm going to start off with this one. This is the second smallest one, and I can use that to kind of do all my outlines and all the small bits on the inside, and then for the really tiny bits I can use the super tiny ones. Push those out of the way. This is what happens when you're not very careful with what you're doing. You end up slicing into it. Luckily I only did it lightly, so hopefully it won't ruin the print too much, but there we go. And again, really, this is just going great, isn't it? I love the way I have started doing this as a tutorial, but now it's just like, please don't follow any of my eyes and please be more careful, because if you're like me, you'll just end up cutting all the important bits. Right, let's hope that's the last time I do it with this. Chances are it won't be. Right, so it's taken 15 minutes to do, but I have finally finished carving the first little fish. I'll probably go back in with the smaller one and do all the detailed bits in a minute, but in order to do the really detailed bits I need to kind of put my head right over it, which means I'll just block all of the camera, so I'll probably do all those bits at the end. But now, on to the other 4 little fishies. I had a lot of comments on the last lino printing video I did, people asking me about what lino I use for these. The thing is, I can't really answer exactly because I get my lino from my college. They supply it and they do it just like in bulk, and it's obviously from like straight from like a warehouse. I have no idea, like it doesn't come like in like a pack or anything. It's literally they just give me like the single sheet of it. So I don't actually know like what the brand is for this lino. If I do find out, I will tell you, but I do not know. I don't even know if you'd be able to buy it from like a shop or anything, or if it's obviously because my college are the ones that get it. I don't know if you can actually buy it if you're just like a single person. But it is really good lino, obviously, because when you carve into it, it's a different color on the inside, so it's like much easier to tell like where you've done, where you've carved, rather than if you have normal lino. I mean, it is soft lino though, that is one thing I can tell you. It's not the hard stuff. It is the soft stuff, which I find much easier to carve. First time I tried lino, I did it with the hard stuff, and it was far too difficult for me. If you're wondering about the designs for these fish, they're not actually my like original ideas or anything. I recently went to the British Museum to see the Living with Gods exhibition, and one of the things that really caught my eye when I was there was the okay, now I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but the larachid trees. They're from they're Aboriginal memorial trees, and there's loads of different types of designs and stuff, but the ones they had at the exhibition were decorated with all these beautiful little fish. So the entire tree had been like just completely covered in these little white fish, and the design was absolutely lovely, and I've kind of been really like obsessed with these memorial trees at the moment. So yeah, I'll put like a link to like where you can read about it on the website, because I think they're like really interesting, which is obviously why I'm basing a lot of my project about them. Oh, great. So there we go, this is the final lino cut. So this is all my little fish all finished off. So next, on to printing. Okay, so now that we've got our finished lino that we've just finished carving, The next thing is just obviously to just grab some paper. This is just, it's not the thickest paper, but I feel like it would work quite well for these prints. So get some paper things, and then just some different coloured ink pads and stuff that we can use to colour these little fishes in. So I think for the first one I'm going to do some blueprints and see how they turn out, and then I might try and do some like green and blue ones to see how I can like mix the colours from the ink pads together to kind of create a cool design. So we'll use this piece of paper first, and then let's ink this up. So we've got our inked up liner, so we're going to put our paper face down on top of it, and then you just want to press really hard. Making sure it picks up as much of the colour as possible when you're pressing down. Let's see. Okay, so I think it came out alright, except the light blue is very light. You can't see it very well, let me just... Yeah, so it does kind of show up, but it's like the light blue bits are very faint. That's okay though, we'll just do another one and we'll just use some different colours for the next one. Okay, so rather than using the really light blue, I'm going to use the blue we used for the medium, the one that we used for the dark bit, and then I've got an even darker one, so I'll try doing it with these colours instead this time. Right, just lay that there. Grab another bit of paper, and put this in. Oh, wrong way. Okay, there you go. It's much better. Yeah, so although some of the bits from the background kind of picked up, I think it kind of gives it quite a nice effect to have those little bits showing through. So yeah, I'll do a couple more colour variations. So I'm going to wipe this down probably with a wipe if I can find one, and then we'll do some like green fish maybe and see what colours we can do with that. Oh, now we got some green fish. This end colour was kind of more brown than I thought it was going to be actually. I thought it was going to be quite a dark green, but it ended up just being kind of more of a yellowy shade of green, but I like it nonetheless. They actually came out better than I was expecting. Like, when you look at the lino, they look kind of really rough, some of these edges, but they came out quite nice on here. And even the bits that I accidentally cut out, like this little bit here, they didn't really show up. Well, they do a little bit, but there we go. That's my fault for cutting everything up. But yeah, so here are some of the finished prints. Now before I finish off this video, I just wanted to show you a little bonus print that I made I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but I got some glow-in-the-dark paint and I decided that I would paint on the insides of each of the fish and with the glow-in-the-dark paint. I had to do a few layers of it, and unfortunately the camera doesn't pick it up in the dark, but I will assure you that these glow very well when it's dark, and it does look really cool. So yeah, a little bonus thing that you could do in your liner prints. You can use glow-in-the-dark paint.